to the show, everyone. I love talking about the first segment is going to be on something that I really love talking about. And you know I love talking about everybody else but me. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. And I'm going to introduce my first guest, who is Wes Peters. He is the CEO of Gold Wealth Management. I want you to talk a little bit, because before we came on today, you've been talking to me a lot about an investor, you call it an investor education kit, and you've written many books, and I want you to talk a little bit about them, because we're going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to get this kit, and it is super cool. So first, welcome back to the show. You've been on once before. We're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver, and first of all, why is it right now a good time for people to be thinking about this?
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me back again, Carol. I appreciate it. Had a great time last time. And, we're coming up on the first of the year. Believe it or not, I can't believe how fast 2025 went by.
Yeah.
But the first of the year is a great time for people to review their portfolios, see if they're properly allocated, diversified. I encourage people to go over their insurances again. There's never really a great time, because we have this crazy thing called life going on. So people need to make it a priority. And the first of the year is a great time to look at your financial household, your budgets, your investments and everything. And we can help people do that as well. We can review. And the thing that most people's portfolios are missing is the backup plan, the insurance policy. And if people review, we believe in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They've done very well, even though gold and silver have outperformed them significantly this year. But typically use those types of investments, real estate, to make money. But gold and silver is your insurance policy, your backup plan. It's like getting some of your money outside the traditional banking system. And that's a void in most people's portfolio. And I think a big part of that, a reason for that, is unfortunately a lot of Wall Street advisors, stockbrokers, they don't recommend physical gold and silver to their clients. They want them to be in those traditional investments. So we're all about education. We're all about showing people the advantages of having a portion, and we're not talking a huge portion of a portfolio in physical metal, but people do want to really have that in their holdings to be truly diversified.
It should be diversified, and so many people, they don't. And
right.
I just don't, sometimes I wonder why. First of all, too, I want you to talk a little bit about yourself, and, because this is something where people are going to be investing with their money, right? And so I want you to talk a little bit about you, how long you've been doing what you do, and why you do what you do.
Yeah. Well, when I got out of the Marine Corps way back in the day.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I went back to school. Excuse me. I went back to school. I got all my securities and insurance licenses, and got into financial planning, and sat down with folks to look at their overall position, find out how much they wanted to retire on, where they were currently, where they needed to be, how much they need to be investing per month at certain rates of return to achieve that. We put together debt elimination strategies. So I did that for a number of years, and then had the opportunity to get in the precious metals industry about 17 years ago. And I went from a very highly regulated industry where you had to be licensed, do continuing education, be a fiduciary, and went into an industry that was like the Wild West. There was zero regulation, and still is to this day. And so when I got into the business, I then realized, I think I want to, take a different approach and fully educate people on the advantages and benefits, the ins and outs of investing in precious metals. Because over the years, all the years I've been doing this, I can't tell you, Carol, how many people I've talked to that really have no clue what they bought. They don't understand it. And what we like to do at Gold Wealth Management up front is address everything we can. The last thing I want a client to do is say, well, Wes, it would have been nice to have known this before I made a purchase, So we try and cover everything, and we have our investors kit, and sometimes I feel like people get overwhelmed, whether they are going through the ebooks or we send them a hard copy, because there is a lot of information there on different areas. And people don't have to be an expert, and they don't need to get overwhelmed with this information. I have people that are clients that never even bother to read the information, because when we're having a discussion, I'm going to talk about it up front anyway. So I'll be bringing those things up, and I'm trying to think of every objection that a client could come up with. Even if they don't bring it to my attention, I bring it to theirs. So, I just want people to know it's a zero pressure educational approach. There's so many companies out there selling gold and silver, and they love it when they hear someone say, well, I really don't know what questions to ask. I don't know anything about this. And they're like, perfect, that's how we want it. And that at Gold Wealth Management, that's not how we want it. We want our clients to be knowledgeable.
As a matter of fact, you do seminars, and you
Yes.
have a couple of them coming up. Go ahead and tell them about
Correct. We have 2 seminars coming up. One the last Thursday of January. What day is that? That's January 29th on a Thursday, 10 a.m. at the Pebble Creek Golf Resort. We'll be doing that. And then for people that can't make it on Thursday, we'll be doing one Saturday, February 28th at 10 a.m. at the Pebble Creek Golf Resort. And we would like people to RSVP for that, because we are buying lunch, and we want to know how many people to have. We already are filling up pretty quickly. I've got the advertisement in some West Valley magazines, and people are starting to RSVP. So people could RSVP for that seminar at 623-640-5911, 623-640-5911, or they could go to goldwealthmanagement.com, and they could register online as well.
Now, I happen to have in my hand all of the books that you have, and I'm going to kind of show them a little bit on Facebook here. But I want you to talk about some of the different ones here, the 3 pillars of financial freedom. And I'm not going to read it all, but I want to just kind of give a little bit of an idea. Tokenized bank deposits. We're going to talk a little bit about each one of these. We can go on forever, right?
Right.
And the impending bank crisis, mastering the game of financial Jenga. I like that. And you wrote all of these. These are the ones that you wrote. And safeguarding your retirement with the full armor of a precious metals IRA. And then, of course, we have here legacies in gold. This is what you're helping people, is really building that legacy, but not just with their financial plan that's just maybe even be outdated a little bit.
Right.
But, diversifying by having what you call a backup plan.
Correct.
Right? Here's another one, silver titans, and then of course it's the coins that built America, won wars, and stood the test of time. Here's another one, gold is the financial thermometer. It's huge. I can't even go into all of that right now. We have less than a minute. Stable coins and the Genius Act, stealing your financial freedom. Okay, and then this other one here is the digital frontier. So when we come back, I kind of want to talk a little bit about some of them, and again, we're going to kind of talk to everybody right now. If you're listening to this is a great time of the year, and also you're looking at the market too being at its all-time high.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
So that's another reason. You can call him direct, the number. You can also register for his seminars. It's 623-640-5911. It's goldwealthmanagement.com. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay.
Clear my
Do you need a little? I have stuff for that.
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Now, I knew that was going to take a while, but I think it was important to do.
Yeah.
It's always going to be something that I think we start off with. Okay. So I'm going to start with the first one here. Okay.
The biggest ones, let me
Tell me
see.
which one.
Digital frontier, everything's
Okay.
going digital.
Okay.
Stable coin.
Okay.
This one, and I'll just briefly touch on them, how
Okay.
gold and silver aren't at record highs because things are good in the economy and everything. It's, the precious metals IRA one.
Okay.
financial Jenga.
Okay. I think everybody does that like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard because, you know, what I think what we should do at some point is just go right straight to just talking about each one of these every time.
Yeah.
It's something one, this one, that, but full on one subject, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I mean later. And this is where, in my, you know, you have those ads, that we can also do one for each one of these.
Mhm.
So when you're talking about it, they hear that. See what I'm saying? For that week or whatever.
Right.
My shoes soaked. My favorite dress a disaster. My stress level.
As you, I think you're doing 2 or 1 a month. 1 a month?
No, I think 2.
2 a month?
Yeah.
I like it like that, because then they hear you a little bit more. It's a little bit closer together.
Yeah.
Professional restoration services. 602-881-1398. That's 602-881-1398. DRYLUX.com.
Do you have questions about your health insurance options? Have your health insurance costs increased? Give us a call at Higby Health Insurance at 602-670-3395. We specialize in both government product as well as private market products. Higby Health
I gotta open the lines to the
Insurance.
audience. Forgot to do that. Wanna do that?
What's that?
Open up the lines to the audience now.
Yeah. Okay.
.com, and that's HigbyHealthInsurance.com. Free consultations, policy reviews, we got you covered. Higby Health
Yeah.
Insurance, 602
Okay, ready?
670
Yeah.
3395.
So welcome back, everyone. I'm gonna open up the lines to the audience for everyone to be able to call throughout the rest of the show for, well, we're gonna call it the Investor Education Kit, and you're getting them all. We're gonna talk a little bit about different ones, but you're going to get them all, and I think there's what, I don't know, 7, 10 of them here.
There's a number of them.
There's a
yes.
number of them. And so our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on his website. It is goldwealthmanagement.com. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. You have to get educated on this. If you don't have any gold or silver at all in your portfolio, it is a good idea to get educated on it and find out. Maybe it would be a good idea to do that. As you said, a backup plan.
Correct. And even, Carol, even people that have already invested in gold and silver, maybe even if they don't intend to adding more to their position, but they have questions, there's things they don't understand, they can call us as well. We would be happy to talk with them and answer any questions that they might have.
His number is 623-640-5911. He does do also the seminars that he's got, one coming up in January on the 29th, and you can register. They like you to register, so you can go up onto the website or call them and register for that. But today, you have these here, and you said, Carol, there's a few of them that are really, really important. And the digital frontier, let's talk a little bit about that.
Right. Well, our banking system as we know it is rapidly changing. Everything's with this blockchain technology, everything is going digital. A big deal that unfortunately a lot of people aren't even aware of, Carol, is back on July 18th, Donald Trump signed the Genius Bill into law, allowing these financial institutions to tokenize all of our assets. Stable coins are becoming very popular. And we're full speed ahead going towards a digital system that is going to replace the dollar at some point. And the big downside to that, there are a lot of positives. Instant verification on trades. You know, today a lot of trades take 3 days to settle. These transactions will happen instantly. But when we go digital, everything's going to be on a ledger, and it's going to be on the grid, And they're going to know your buying habits. They're going to figure out in a short amount of time whether you're a liberal, a conservative, a Catholic, and you can kiss all privacy goodbye. And another big thing about going strictly digital is you look at all the cyber attacks and hacking that's going on. If everything you have is digital and you need electricity and you need access to your account, just like people that are invested in cryptocurrencies right now on these platforms, Coinbase or any of them, what do you do if you log on this morning and you go to check your account and all your digital currency's gone? That same thing.
It happens, I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, so this digital frontier covers all the different things about this track that we're on, heading to a fully blown digital system. And that's why people need, my clients have been doing this for years. They've been investing over time, and some of them small amounts, continue,
I was just
every
going to
couple
ask
of
you,
months.
let's say somebody is just starting, right? I mean, can they take their baby steps? Because, a lot of people think that, oh, I'm going to have to buy this, that's going to be a lot of money. Talk about that.
I think the last time I was here, I mentioned it just the day before I came in for the first show that we did. One of my clients made, I think it was his 80th purchase. And, a big investment for him. I think he did an investment at one time of like $4,000. But he would, over the years, call me up, Wes, I got $200, I want to buy some silver. Wes, I got $400, so there's no minimum, and we don't turn anyone away. We think everyone should have the availability and the right to invest, small amounts whenever they choose. So people can do that with us as well.
Your tagline is, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. And I think this is important for people to understand as well. This is tangible. This is something that you own, that you hold, that you have in your possession, in your home, or wherever you're going to keep it.
That nobody knows about.
Right.
And like my clients have been doing this over the years. When the system transitions and everything's digital, all your accounts are digital, your house is tokenized, everything, my clients have their gold and silver off grid, so to speak, sitting on the sidelines. All their other stuff has been converted. Their gold and silver, they'll be able to convert it on their terms as they need it. I always get this question, okay, Wes, I buy gold and silver. How do I use this when I can't go to the grocery store? I can't buy food with it. I can't go to the gas station and put fuel in my vehicle. And I
It's
don't.
heavy to carry around.
Yeah, and especially silver. And I don't think in our lifetime we're going to get into a barter situation, but we are heading that digital platform. So you convert it on your terms as you need it, and that's where most people's portfolios fall short, is they don't have that availability because they haven't taken the time to, at the very least, investigate converting some of their hard-earned dollars into physical gold and silver.
Sometimes your financial planner might be very good. He might be also a little bit older,
Old
and
school.
old school. And also, they just don't know about it, so they don't talk about it. It's not that they're bad, it's just they don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I've talked to a number of people over the years that say, well, my advisor says I own gold and silver in my portfolio. And I asked them, well, do you have it in your possession? No. Do you know where it's being stored? Well, no, I don't know any of that. And what they really own are ETFs, exchange traded funds, that are no form of insurance. If you want to just invest in gold and silver to make money, buy an ETF like GLD or SLV. There's a number of ETFs out there to speculate, to make money. You could buy today, sell later in this evening if you wanted. You can buy and sell and trade it. That's not how physical metal works. Physical metal you have in your possession is a buy and hold strategy. And I tell people that if you can't commit to 2 years, holding something for 2 years, you shouldn't invest in it at all. But you buy physical metal, that is your insurance policy off grid. When you have ETFs, GLD, SLV in your portfolio, that's just for speculating and trying to make money. That is no form of protection whatsoever.
You also do free portfolio reviews. Obviously you're here to educate everyone, and you can call him and talk to him. He'll do a free consultation for you. There are no minimums. You can start with your baby steps and go from there. His phone number is 623-640-5911. You can check him out. It is goldwealthmanagement.com. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get his investor education kit. It's got all of the books that he's written, and it's fantastic. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And call in, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. You should get the information, look at it, and have him, because a lot of people, have him educate you on it. You know, okay, I got to go for some of the questions that you wanted to ask today, which we did talk a little bit about. Is a good time. So this one here, do you think the stock market is overvalued right now?
I do, absolutely, and you know, you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at what Warren Buffett's doing. Very well respected, very smart investor who's been around for a very long time through good markets and bad markets. And Warren Buffett is currently sitting on $381 billion in cash. He has a war chest of cash, and he was interviewed. I saw an interview with him where the person interviewing said, well, this isn't like you to be sitting on the sidelines with all of this cash. Why are you doing that? And he said, you know, honestly, I would much rather be in the market right now, but I don't see anywhere where the risk is worth the reward. Mm-hmm. And so, like a smart investor, and I would encourage people, you know, and I'm not giving financial advice at all, if you're well into profits, take some of that money, you know, take some profits off the table and liquidate some of those positions.
Well, we've got our lines open here for you to get educated on this. He's been doing this for 17 years plus, and you can call him. He does do free consultations. He wants to just educate you on this. The number to call him is 623-640-5911. You can call in here and get the investor kit. It's an education kit. No obligation is what he's saying. I mean, there's no minimums, there's no obligation. He just wants to educate you a little bit on this and see where you should go with it. And everybody's different too.
Absolutely,
right?
Correct, yes.
And so we can call in here, and I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. It's the entire kit. It's got all of the books that he's written. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Before we go, what would be the most important thing? Well, let me just get out. Well, go ahead. I'll let you do it because we're all going.
Well, what's that?
Tell them your seminar.
Seminar. All right. Seminar. First one that we're going to have is at the Gulf Creek Resort, February 28th, 10 a.m. RSVP 623-640-5911.
Check him out on his website. It's goldwealthmanagement.com.